streaming.
Go to twitch.tv/.
Barb is streaming too. Don't forget about Barb. I'm here as well.
I don't know who Barb is, but I know Barbarian is streaming.
You calm down. Liru has a multi-twitch, that's why it's there. So we all know you all stream. Be careful.
Ladies, you're both pretty.
How amazing streaming is.
Stream snipe myself.
Name,
oh god,
name
please
my
don't.
first child after you.
Does Gav still play my ops? No, he got butthurt 2 years ago when I shot him down, which, granted, he was right to be butthurt. That was a really big stretch of my power. I should have never given him that asset and that op in the first place.
I can't.
He came back, played a few ops, and left again.
Just let him say the bird.
For reasons I don't know.
Sex tape, I can't get in there. Right.
Has a server broke during FNF plenty of times, after the 2.0 update especially.
He's got it.
But they think they've fixed it for the most part.
Okay, from the glory of Liru's stream, it is, we're looking at Rush, so it's 1, 2, 3. It's sequential.
Stream snipe the Zeus.
Before you guys are starting up in the airfield. GREENFOR, you are starting down in the town. GREENFOR, you have statics. I believe you have 1 cord, and you have 2, I believe, 2 M113s. The little lunch boxes, and BLUFOR has 1. The huey you've been provided with has MGs. That's pretty much it. BLUFOR has transport. Yeah, fairly straightforward.
So sorry, I'm jumping up. I gotta change my name back to Liru here, and Barb will be jumping up momentarily. So I'll wait for him to get up here. We'll explain the operation. And, I mean, this should be fairly cut and dry. Friday Night Fights, they did update their mod set. They brought back enhanced movement.
Right, he just
and
referred to
a bunch of new
Enfor's
maps.
helmet as a green penis thing, so I'm hopping up here now.
I got up here before that happened. But how you doing, Barb?
I'm doing great. Suits fit me nice. I got a nice bottle of wine now, and
nice.
I'm ready for some FNF.
All right, I've got a nice glass of water, and if I pass out, you get all your viewership back, so...
Yes! You mean all right? Your viewership.
Oh, I was trying to be nice.
No, I'll be brutally honest. I'm feeling better since then. I can be brutally honest with myself again.
Okay.
So yeah, we had some adjustments, some updates to the Friday Night Fights mod pack, and we have a bunch of new maps as we push in. Remember to hit P.
I hit P and J for luck. Even though J does nothing.
Does literally nothing. But hey, I know you
remember to page up too.
Ooh, yes.
Because it looks like we can page up here. They didn't set a render limit. All right. So anyway, for Friday Night Fights, just for the record, for all of the new people that may be showing up, this is a 1 life PvP round. There are 3 rounds per branch. There are 2 branches. 1 is EU, 1 is NA. This is the EU branch, which starts officially at 3 p.m. EST. We start the stream a little bit later, though, because they're setting up, 124 people, give or take, to be on the server to run these rounds. And the NA branch is at 8 p.m., which is 5 hours after. I would say in total, the total time for the branches is about 3.5 hours. That would be a fair assessment, right, Barb?
Yeah, fair assessment. Also, for EU people who are interested, it's 8 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. But yeah, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or Eastern Daylight, whatever the hell it is. I always forget.
But how it generally works is the operations are usually infantry focused. Sometimes there's a few extra assets given to both sides, if at the very least transport vehicles, so they can get to the opposing AO. Most of the time it is based off of attack and defend, but sometimes there are neutral sectors that you will see in the AO itself. Now, this is a sector control. Actually, no, excuse me. This is a terminal control. My bad. But it is also a quote-unquote rush terminal attack, and what that means is there are 2 different types of sector attacks, one that is sequential and one that is non-sequential. Sequential also means rush in Friday Night Fights terminology. So if you look at these 3 terminals, you have Terminal 1 with a dash next to it that says active, and then Terminal 2 and 3 say inactive next to them. This means that BLUFOR has to hack Terminal 1 first, and then Terminal 2 will be active, and then Terminal 3 allowing independent, who is the defending faction here, to set up defensive waves to try to hold these terminals. Now, how to hack a terminal? It's really simple. You just go up to it. You would hit spacebar or enter as your interaction key. It I believe, is an instantaneous touch, and then there is a 90-second timer that will count down. Once that 90-second timer is counted down, the terminal will start beeping for 10 to 15 seconds, and then spawn a GBU and blow up the terminal in a nice little Mission Impossible style explosion. Now, during that 90-second... Yep.
I have to interject, because I think you're missing the source material. It's stylized after the Rush game mode from Battlefield 3, 4.
Oh, gotcha.
So that's where they get the Rush name as well as the exploding terminals. So I just wanted to clarify that since it seems...
That's fine. I've never played a Battlefield game, so I wouldn't know.
Understandable.
Heard they're really good, though. But anyway, digression aside, during the 90-second timer of the terminals, they can be counter-hacked by the defending team, which pauses the timer. It does not reset it. So if BLUFOR then touches it, and it was at 45 seconds to throw a number out there, the timer will start counting down from 45 instead of 90, and you'll get a little display window on the top right. Now, let's look at assets. Barb, what do they got on BLUFOR? What's their weapon types? What are we looking at for assets today? Give me a rundown.
All right. So for BLUFOR, we have a number of traditional American transports. Looks like that we are Marpat Woodland Marines. We have basic M4s, M16s, M249s, and then for weapons teams, we have Maz, Carl Gustav, recoilless rifle, which is very effective, as well as 240 Bravos. As far as transport and assets, both sides have M113s. The BLUFOR one has the upgraded turret and ballistic glass shielding, as well as a Huey with 2 side-mounted M240 Golfs. As well as a few Humvees, some of the transport trucks, which do have the armored cabin. You can tell by the smaller windows. And yeah, that's about it. A couple of offensive stuff, a helicopter, and plenty of space for them to get across.
So what's important to note about the factions when we do this little rant is looking at the caliber. So main gun here is a 5.56 rifle, which is your standard caliber, but compared to what the other team might have, when the other team might have 7.62, which is a bigger caliber than 5.56, that would give that other side an advantage. But usually, at least for BLUFOR, you almost always see them in this US-based kit bash, with Carl Gustav as the MAT team gun, as Barb said. That is also known as the Charlie 2 team because they are literally denounced as the C2 section in the roster on the left, and then the machine gun teams are part of Charlie 1, Foxtrot 1, and Foxtrot 2 respectively. Infantry are pretty much everything else with the exception of Gulf and Hotel. Gulf is vehicle crews, Hotel is pilots. Barb, do you want to give us a rundown for what GREENFOR have in terms of assets, similar to BLUFOR?
Absolutely. So with GREENFOR, we're having them with the more FIA-styled uniforms, that green, white, and black check, or less FIA. So it's that checkered stuff, and I think my internet is.
Yeah, you just disconnected from the server. I didn't want to say anything.
Yeah, no, I saw it. But they do have G36s, G36Ks, AG36s with grenade launchers, as well as 240 Bravos. So this, as far as caliber and stuff, it is a mirror match, just with a bit of a different coat on it, a coat of paint.
So, I mean, the gear is very similar. The calibers are pretty much similar. I'm trying to find a Charlie 1 or Foxtrot team. Here is Foxtrot 1, and they are 240 Bravo based as well. Independent AT is also the M72 Laws. So it is pretty much a mirror match here. The only slight difference is that BLUFOR has a helicopter. Independent have 2 static 50 cals. Independent's M113 doesn't have the ballistic shield, and Independent's trucks aren't armored in the cabin. So pretty much there's not really any distinctive advantages here for either side. It's going to really come down to the PvP. So now as Barb gets in, let me know when you're back in and looking, by the way. Let's look at the actual AOs itself. And the first thing I want to point out is we have these really big ridges right around this AO, and it is all part of the map.
I'm back in.
Nice. I'll finish this statement and find something on the environment or start talking about Terminal 1 when I finish, okay?
Absolutely. You do you, buddy.
Cool. So BLUFOR has a lot of room to do Overwatch on this entire town and possibly set up their 113s and fire from very long ranges. Let me actually look back at Charlie 2 for Independent. I want to see what their weapon team unit is. It's going to be given to Yanni, and it is an RPG-32. So I would say, compared to the Carl Gustav, it's got less range, but it's a similar weapon platform as a whole. So
yes, absolutely.
At the range of these ridges, though, compared to the town, the 113s are probably very unlikely to be engaged from any form of AT or even the machine guns. It's a bit of a stretch. Though they are big targets, to accurately kill the gunners would be a little bit difficult at this range. Still, how BLUFOR is going to get their foot in the door in this AO is also going to be a big question, because it's all open ridge side to come down. So we might see some sort of thunder run into these AOs, but one peculiar thing about the town once you get into it is the fog really starts to pick up. You can see about, I want to say, 100 meters about halfway through this town itself, through the fog, but otherwise it starts to peter out, which will help Independent set up a wave defense to try to be sneaky. Barb, what do you got?
Well, speaking of the terrain, like you were saying, yeah, there are a couple routes into this northwest part of Yolandi. We have the pass in the north and the pass in the west. That would probably be the best as far as getting them into the AO quickly using those trucks or the Humvees. But I would definitely, if I were attacking this, I would probably, I'd say attack from the west and have a weapons team up on either hill 191 or maybe a bit further north on like point 214 or something. Give kind of an overwatch, some supporting fire as they push down. But otherwise, yeah, it's kind of a I wouldn't say a shitty situation for BLUFOR, but it's going to be a bit of a, they got to get it right. Once they get into town, then it's urban combat for the rest of the mission for the most part, I believe. Mm-hmm. But apart from that, it's going to be a bit tough for them to get in. Now they do have that huey, and something that we often see with air assets is that command will often have them go either on a wide flank or behind enemy lines and drop off a marksman or two. And with the mountain to the northeast of the AO, as well as kind of the ridge to the southwest, though that's a lot weaker in my opinion, and actually a lot farther, that would be good. But the mountain on the northeast side of the AO has plenty of ridges and dips and crests for marksmen to work with, and really kind of terrorize it, especially with how high up and the steep elevation advantage that they would have on top of that mountain. So that's what I'm expecting personally, but yeah, we'll see what they do with those M113s for BLUFOR.
So if you... go ahead. Now keep going.
I just want to mention one last thing. The BLUFOR ones have that shielding, the rounded turret and the ballistic glass to protect the gunner. The GREENFOR one does not, so the gunner's going to be a lot more exposed.
So, a few points I want to touch on. Number one, we forgot to mention that each side gets 2 marksmen because each side is a command element, or a company element, excuse me, with 2 platoons, and then there's a marksman at the platoon level for each of those 2 platoons. Both marksman weapons are the Mark 11, which are 20-round 7.62 rifles that more often than not can insta-kill people, especially with a headshot, but body shots, it usually takes about 2 to 3 shots to kill them. Now, another thing to note, we do have BLUFOR loading a sizable team into the helicopter. I'm not seeing any marksmen in it, though, so it's probably going to be a wide flanking element, and they are loading even more people into the helicopter. The issue with helicopters these days, though, is ever since the latest RHS update from about a week to 2 ago, it is a lot easier to shoot out the engine with static guns to knock the helicopter down, whether it loses its main rotor or its engine. We have seen over the past, I want to say 2 weeks, ever since that RHS update, helicopters have been literally shot out of the sky in a single strafe because of the recalibration of assets. One last thing I want to quickly touch on before I give it back to you, Barb. I just got a poke from Falcon. For those of you who don't know, he's one of our players on the ground. We also have a few memes about him because we made Barb quit. Barb, you rage quit on him 2 weeks ago from commentary, like a hawk. Falcon with a machine gun, classic meme. But anyway, he's poked me to say that the reason they're using enhanced movement rework instead of regular enhanced movement is because of Scandi Recon climbing in trees.
Oh, is that the reason?
That is the official admin reason that he just poked me with. So,
amazing.
Just to get into some of the groups with Friday Night Fights, one of the, if not the most feared one, according to other groups within Friday Night Fights, the most feared group in the community is Scandi Recon, some players basically from TSB that have grouped up, that really understand how to PvP and play to the meta. One of their players over the past 2 months was doing a really good job getting into trees and flanking entire groups and taking them out on his own because people never thought to look up there. Because when's the last time you fought someone in a damn tree? Exactly. So,
there, man.
With the mod update, they got enhanced movement rework instead of enhanced movement on its own, because you have to use enhanced movement rework with enhanced movement itself to prevent things like that, because they're a little too overpowered for everyone else to deal with.
It also the rework also removes the scaling ability where you
on the sides of mountains.
It 10 times a second and you can just
Where's the fun in that though?
I know, right?
Mountain goating.
It's almost like they wanted to be a realistic military shooter. Where the fuck is that idea?
God, Arma is a realistic game? Nah, impossible.
The shit I saw last night? No way.
The vampire hunting up. But anyway, you want to talk about the actual terminals and how GREENFOR is deploying?
Actually, before I do that, I want to pay attention to the north side of the GREENFOR starting area. These blue and green boxes.
GenKiller, thanks for the 5 gift subs. If you got a sub from Jen, make sure you thank him.
On the north side of it, though,
and then
Passenger and G-Legs.
Meltab, thanks for the 5-month resub. Hope you'll keep enjoying the ops. Hope you get a kick out of this Friday Night Fight stream. Hope you stay safe on COVID.
Recon in this gas truck up here, they're looking to do a little counter push early on. I could see them going to like Hill 179 or something, setting up an ambush on the top of that ridge, catching. I mean, if they were to catch an infantry truck or one of the M113s out of position, then that could very much turn the tide of the battle before it even starts.
So I agree with you.
As Sun Tzu says, a battle is won before it is even fought.
I agree with you on a lot of those points. We have seen in the past, especially it was NA round 1 2 weeks ago, a 1117 on one side pushed in and cut off a convoy from the enemy team, was able to kill an entire transport truck filled with dudes, literally killed an entire squad, and they won the op because of that action. But where that convoy is pointing, it's going north, and you gotta look up the MSR to see where that's going, and honestly, it's just going direct north itself. If they really wanted to try to do intercepts, they would go along the western road, because that would put them directly onto the forces here. Furthermore, I don't think there's going to be any counter-aim, because the 113s are not that fast. They're tracked. They're quite slow. So I think they're just going to take a squad up there. Do you know who's in? Actually, it's Charlie too. So their weapons team is in there with Scandi Recon out of Hull Groups. So I think they're going to try to... Yeah, go ahead.
I'm going to disagree with you there, because if you're doing an ambush or a counterattack, when you have significantly lower numbers, remember this is Scandi Recon. Think of the Finnish. They have fewer numbers than the Russians in the Winter War. They didn't do head-on fighting. That's not what they want to do. I really do think they're going to go somewhere along this ridgeline and shoot out windows from the side or even the rear, especially with that Carl Gustav and the Matt team. And I think they also will have the 240 as well. I'm not sure.
Yeah, but look at BLUFOR right now. They're literally a third of the way there, and they're moving a different direction.
And I'm completely wrong. They're going up on the mountain on the northeast.
Yep.
Just scaling up it with a gas truck. We'll see how well that works out for them. And it doesn't look like it's
I don't know why they didn't just walk at that point. I mean, look at where Platoon 1 HQ is for GREENFOR.
Yeah. I'm just gonna eat my words, I guess.
that place is actually where they have both of their marksmen putting all eggs in one basket there. I would have probably diversified them, because if they get spotted and taken out early, that's gonna be one of GREENFOR's big advantages on this map gone immediately. Doesn't help that they
can drop right on them.
Yeah, they're really obvious on that spot. I don't think the heli is going to drop on them, because that would expose the heli a bit too much. Speaking of, that heli is flying around outside of bounds, potentially going to deploy on the rear side. I'm going to check. There is a little patch of mountain at .191, grid ref 050034 it could land, and potentially try to set up Overwatch on the rear. But with this being a tiered defense, we're actually seeing GREENFOR doing a lot of defensive areas around the terminal site itself, though we don't have any defenses at the station itself. I was also hearing some gunshots earlier because I think they were breaking windows.
Yeah, it's either breaking windows or some celebratory gunfire.
Yeah.
You never know.
Also, we have Mike setting up an explosive trap on the road. Actually, he's disarming it. I think he's going to move it instead. But that would actually be really smart to put him right on these MSRs coming down. You rarely see explosive traps used in FNF properly. Don't get me wrong, they're used all the time, but there's so many ways that people could do them better. Effectively, that would be a better term for it. But when they are done effectively, holy crap, they do make a massive change in the dynamic of power, literally from out of nowhere. So
BLUFOR, they've actually dismounted their vehicles and are proceeding along the road on foot. Not a bad idea, infantry providing a screen for the 113s, but I feel like once they get into contact as they come over this hill, they're just going to get bogged down, and yeah, like you said, trying to, I mean, just look at that western MSR, how steep it is and how long that hill goes. They're going to be exposed to all kinds of fire from the...
Real quick, Charlie is breaking off to go south, though. They're either going to hug the shoreline here to come around a different flank or potentially cross to the other island. That would be unlikely, though, because the terrain goes out of bounds real quick, but I would expect they're going to come down the coast here as the weapon teams and then try to open up another angle. The one issue... Actually, no, the fog will work in their favor, but BLUFOR doesn't know about this fog yet. You got to remember that, because they started in the high ground where the fog doesn't exist. So maybe if Charlie starts noticing that this fog is here, they're going to be a lot more comfortable moving in on the lower ground to try to maneuver. But I would be expecting a... It's another hybridized eggs in one basket / pincer strategy, where BLUFOR has a majority of their force coming down the MSR. It's probably going to form a massive battle line on these ridges to try to get their foot in the door, potentially come into the little military base first, use those fortifications to push in, while the Charlie team is the flanking force to try to either cut off independent forces pulling back from Area 1 to Area 2, or just harass independent on a different flank to try to make them push back to allow BLUFOR to get their foot in the door, because the most dangerous part of this AO is going to be BLUFOR getting into the town itself. That is where they're going to be the most exposed.
Absolutely. And yeah, with this military base, it actually has a little gap on the western side of the perimeter. So
oh yeah, Pie Boy, definitely.
Make it down behind it, they can get inside it and start using the barracks building, the couple of watchtower, or like HESCO watchtowers, whatever you want to call them, and use this as a semi-decent position to lay down some suppressing fire on any defending GREENFOR and help really get a spearhead into the town, because yeah, like you said, once they get in there, there's a lot fewer opportunities for GREENFOR to shred them. It's still plenty deadly, but it's going to be a lot more of a better position for BLUFOR, in my opinion. And now we're having Bravo and Bravo 2 go up to that hill 191 as the M113s look to possibly start pushing out and laying down some suppressive fire on their own. What are the Rifleman AT carrying? Was it just an RPG-26?
It's, both sides have M72 laws. By the way, Delta has deployed far on the east from the helicopter. I was wondering why I wasn't seeing them. It's because, yeah, the helicopter took them, and they're going to try to move in and take Terminal 3 while the fighting's going on, so they can at least back cap it. But again, they won't actually be able to capture it until Terminal 2's taken, but at least they'll be able to fortify it so that Independent, once they're doing their wave push back, they'll run into more resistance. Furthermore, unfortunately for Independent, Scandi Recon in the Charlie squads are going to be completely out of position here, as well as the defensive 113. They were not predicting BLUFOR to take the obvious approach and thinking they would do a bit more flanking here, but that's going to cost them a lot of time. Thankfully, Scandi Recon, they did take the gas truck so they can quickly, steam back into the AO, but it's going to be a hot second.
Yeah, I'm really surprised at this GREENFOR setup on the northern side. I'm sure I guess they're expecting them to come around this kind of horn around Madman's Bay, but it would be absolutely a mad idea.
That's fair, Bassbeard.
And yeah, between Scandi Recon being over here,
yeah, the RPG-26 tunnel site is absolutely horrible.
This is a pretty lopsided lopsided setup for them. I mean, they're going to be able to hook around quickly if they decide to strike fiercely, go over the snow-capped mountains to, just north of BLUFOR. They could get eyes
Charlie's
on the military
rejoined. They're not
camp
going to
if
do a
they decide
flank.
to go
It's going to
there.
be...
They'd have some decent eyes from an elevated
This is going to get messy.
Which wouldn't be the worst, but I don't know. We're going to have to wait and see how this plays out. There's too many variables at play here to really do
BLUFOR is going to do a massive battle line. Charlie has been recalled from the shore. They're going to try to be the wide southern attack force on this line itself. Alpha and Bravo start going prone to scout things out, but...
Yeah, with this fog, I'm not sure how much they're going to be able to spot. Additionally, with the M113 not even being there, they're going to be wondering where it is. As I've said before, with how players in FNF work, or like how they think, sometimes, you know, if they don't see something, if they cannot find the location,
two Humvees here for Thunder runs.
That it's not there. Sometimes they think, oh, we missed it and it's somewhere hiding, so they still act cautiously. We see that often with abandoned objectives, where they still take a very long time to clear it out because they're suspicious. The hair on the back of their neck stands up, you know? Apart from that, though, we're just waiting for everything to kick off.
So GREENFOR down at the T intersection into town. They have AT ready because they hear the 113s at the top of the hill. There's one dude with binocs looking around. They're trying to anticipate some sort of charge here, but I don't know. Compared to how many dudes we have down on the ground, the one advantage that they'll get is a little bit of the fog might obscure BLUFOR's vision from this range, but this is perfect positioning for any of the BLUFOR marksmen to start taking pot shots and trying to eliminate GREENFOR, because the GREENFOR marksmen are way far back, in my opinion, to be effective.
And they're bringing the truck up now, so they might mobilize back towards the main part of town. Looks like that is what they're doing.
Gunshot.
Back up and...
I couldn't tell who fired where, but a tracer did. Oh, it's the GREENFOR marksman firing on BLUFOR.
Yep. Both of them. They're firing at the
tracers are coming in.
Team and Alpha team on the top of the ridge on the south side of the pass.
Those tracers are going to give them away, though.
Yeah, they're accurate.
Ooh,
shots,
you just
so
hit
they're
Vagrant?
suppressing the team, but once they're able to figure out
any
where they
blood.
are, these and get the word to these M113s, they should be able to pull up and actually suppress them without making them at risk. And as the engine kicks on, that might be what they do now.
BLUFOR marksman firing back. No, they're firing. Rex firing at Platoon HQ for Independent.
Those shots are also landing pretty close to the ATC tower.
He's firing at something down there.
Not quite close enough. We'll see how they react. Yeah, they're keeping their heads down. This is not what BLUFOR wants. To be in a war of attrition from this distance. I mean, we're already 10 minutes into this op.
Yeah.
The more time they spend up here and the more fire they just exchange without moving, it's going to be even better for GREENFOR, because between the timing, or the time that it takes to the terminals to go off and the time it takes for them to actually push up and find them,
They're suppressing everything they...
That's
a silly place to fire at.
Strategy for GREENFOR of just delaying them.
So, another thing I want to point out, GREENFOR has the advantage here because they have a bunch of buildings to hide in. Meanwhile, BLUFOR, the best way that they can take cover on these ridges is to go prone, but that exposes their head. So that's the thing that's going to be aimed for because it's in front of their body when they lay down forward. I'm seeing no deaths yet, but definitely some blood splatter of them getting hit. Logan's one of our interesting players in FNF who will pull some really crazy bullshit, so that's a shame. And yeah, you got these 113s trying to lead the charge. They're staying far back, but they are trying to spray positions down with 50 cal to get some free kills. I'm going to quickly check the skulls. And there's not a single skull yet. It's just been long-range fighting for the most part. Though, this has allowed time for Scandi Recon and that 113 for GREENFOR, to start flanking around to the north and try to potentially open up a side shot. They have a medium machine gun and the recoilless rifle. They can do a lot of damage with that if BLUFOR stays here for too long.
As well as the M2 on that one.
Great escalation to the tier 1 sub. Hope you've enjoying the ops. Hope you are staying safe from COVID. I hope you get a kick out of this
either
stream.
side. So if they find a good position and
jeez, these bullets going right past their heads.
It's gonna be hard to find like a good position. There's plenty of decent positions to fire on, like
Alpha mounting up in the trucks.
Hill up here, but as far as finding those 113s, they're staying low in the pass itself, so they're playing well as far as their positioning, not letting themselves stay exposed.
BLUFOR is adapting though. Alpha just completely mounted up in 2 Humvees. They might try to do a thunder run on the far right flank on the east. I think they're gonna go down south and then try to hook around on the shore. That could work.
Yeah, and on the far east now, that flanking team, they've made their way.
Seen a lot of forces mount up, actually.
Already crossed in the north, and the rest of them are trying to look for a place to cross in the south.
Independent has dismounted, starting to head up.
It's going to take them a good 20, 30 minutes before they start being able to do anything at this Terminal 3 objective area, the airport terminal, not the computer terminal. But that is something to keep an eye on.
One of those drivers, man.
Sandy has now dismounted. They're pushing up on foot as the 113 for GREENFOR looks to be going even further behind them. This is going to be very interesting. They pull up behind, try and follow the BLUFOR's advance on the MSR to the west. That could be very interesting. I heard some gunshots ring out.
If Independent for Scandi Recon Charlie 1 can set up their machine gun properly, they could catch a lot of the Alpha... Excuse me, the Bravo force out of position. By the way, Bravo is TSB, so...
Oh, Scandi got spotted.
Yep, they are starting to be engaged, yep.
And yeah, he got hit, but they're doing fine. But I think it was that marksman on top of the ridge.
Tom H started firing and Yarn Y, and they were spotted out by Yano. So they're now trying to fire to at least buy some time. That's going to let the TSB guys reposition and not be all in the open to get shot. And that 113 is slowly coming up. I'll be curious to see what it does. Meanwhile, Alpha has started deploying itself in the town. They are taking some nasty fire here. They do have a man down, but not dead. But they do need backup here. This is not a good position for them to be in. And GREENFOR is already reacting. Dusty pushed up and went down.
M249 and a G36 could do a lot of damage if they decide to push in, but looks like they're actually getting grenaded by either Nuzzy or Kowak over there, so they're going to be dissuaded from coming in. And
more Alpha guys coming down.
Getting awfully close to the Bravo team back here. The gunfire might suppress its audio profile, but it's going to come up top of this ridge and going to start opening up, and it's going to have to work quickly because TSB is pushing back. No, they hear it. They hear it.
Yeah, they have to hear it by now. I'm not seeing anyone pulling AT out, though. I don't know if anyone even has AT. Wait, nope, Dutch Eagle has AT. He's looking back.
Yep, he's ready. He's looking up there, working with Ryzen. Ryzen's going to spot it, and Dutch is going to kill it.
But the 113 is firing out the transport truck.
DeVincer hops out, 50 to the back of the head. As he hops out, 50 pierces through the canopy. If he had stayed in the cabin, he actually might have survived.
113 is being scrambled back to deal with it.
Yep.
AT is getting really close to it, though, by Dutch and Risen.
Yeah, and the GREENFOR one is pulling back now. It needs to turn tail and flee. Oh, DeVincer's going to be pissed at that. I'm sure he's going to hop in chat any minute now, but that's unfortunate. Oh, the 113 for GREENFOR is actually pushing around
it's getting way too safe right there in enemy territory. It's got a lot of assets coming up to try to smack it. It needs to honestly commit to being hit and run at this point. But it looks like the BLUFOR 113s actually have a bunch of dudes mounted up in the second one, and they're going to try to join Alpha. AT missed from the opposing ridge, and now that 113 is getting even more kills.
Yeah, but here comes Ryzen and Dutch from the left flank, and Ryzen hits.
There it is.
Dutch gets the rocket, and that's going to be all she wrote.
Gunner is down, and Driver appears to be down as well.
One shot, one kill. Unfortunately, that's not going to... Well, no. Edwin hops out.
He could get a few more kills here. He's trying his best. The bullet spray is a little too much, though. Grenade going out. It's going to roll down the ridge. Oh, it was a smoke.
Yeah. It was a scare tactic.
Yeah, but he is in a lot of trouble here. He's got guys coming from the left and from the right. Meanwhile, looking at the rest of the fight here, BLUFOR, those 113s still pushing in. Alpha has a decent foothold here, but they are contending with a lot of GREENFOR guys coming around. Inside the bar, Vonk staying on the top story, trying to strike down at Dusty, but he gets picked off by Bert.
Edwin actually might get away now. He's, Khalil might spot him here, but he's pulled down a bit lower. Working with the terrain, he's going to pull around the side.
A lot of these BLUFOR guys are dead, actually.
Ryzen.
Flux flanking from the left here with this M249.
Here's a low profile.
Picks off Grav.
Just slowly withdrawing. Scandy's now coming in on that same path that 113 took. And they might either try and make something happen. Yeah, that's the entire Scandy now. So they might try to rescue him and make something happen. But that's a big loss for GREENFOR, losing that M113 so early. That M2, I feel like was going to be crucial in taking out those other, the BLUFOR M113s. Speaking of which, they've actually pushed down and are assisting BLUFOR Alpha now. Yep.
They're trying to dismount additional infantry there. They are amphibious as well. I completely forgot about that. But BLUFOR have lost a lot of alpha here trying to make this foothold, and GREENFOR has been properly countered. We see another guy go down for GREENFOR. That was, Grav got hit by Flux, who was a machine gunner. I think he got shot dead, though. No, he's inside the compound now. And now we got Kane also flanking.
King, Vagrant was the element leader. He gets taken down. So I think he was the team leader for this team. And DeBrit now as well. This is awful. BLUFOR Alpha is just getting picked apart as a 1 ER RCC now dismounts in the water from the 113. That's an interesting call.
Ooh, Flux just got decked by Koak, who woke up.
Nice.
And then Koak just got shot by Victor and Clown on that Overwatch. No, Koak got the nice.
Oh, but he's getting engaged by the 113, and the 113 gets taken out by Owl with his RPG-26. So that's 1 for 1 as far as M113's down.
Koak, his internet is not having this. He's been desyncing all over the damn place.
I think it's the server. The server's having some trouble.
No, it's only been him. He was desyncing while he was driving that Vic into the original push as well. But with that 113 down, a lot of BLUFOR guys still in the water. These guys are out of position here. Down here, they also have their Carl Gustav guys, so this could be ugly. Meanwhile, Scandy Recon coming down the western MSR towards the east as BLUFOR has pretty much mounted up all of its force, and they're going to try pushing at that one angle, but that could expose them to Scandy Recon flanking from the rear.
Yeah, now that they're going to be down in this little gully,
Greg doing his best to pick dudes off.
Position, taking out that 113. That's going to be a big advantage. The marksman team hasn't moved, but Edwin has actually escaped. He's hiding up on top of a ridgeline in a bush. As yes, Scandy is now on that western MSR.
Wait.
And looks like they're going to be following the low ground, going into that.
How many more dudes do they have?
Southeast along that coast as best they can. Terrain's going to be difficult to work with. We'll see.
Hey, by the way, BLUFOR has been funneling more dudes on that eastern flank. They've doubled in size. That's been 2 helicopter trips. I wonder if that helicopter has a third group of people it's going to bring in. So even though BLUFOR is getting fucked right here, they are not down for the count just yet. Scandy Recon, meanwhile, doing a safe deployment in the back. They might be a little while till they're effective, though. And BLUFOR hasn't really made any progress along this flank. That's going to buy Scandy Recon time to close. Sorry, go ahead.
I think BLUFOR on this southwestern approach near the port, they need to cut their losses and pull back. We're having the marksman wreck engage and try and cover for them, but I'm surprised they doubled down on this eastern approach because it's rush style. They need to take Terminal 1 before Terminal 2 is active, then they need to take that one, and then Terminal 3 is active. So even though they can secure it, they need to leave at least one person back by Terminal 3 and Terminal 2 to hack them as soon as Terminal 1 gets done. And they still have to travel all this way from the eastern riverbed to the western side of Yolandi. And that is...
This is an EU-based server, yes, and then NA will be NA-based.
2 clicks on foot with
Korsky with the salt.
I think that's a problem.
Your desync couldn't save you. Wait, no, you aren't the one to Korsky. It's Koak who's desyncing.
Trying to get some better eyes from up there.
Yep.
Well... Now BLUFOR is pushing a bit more south of Yolandi proper, but they need to...
The reason they're doing that is because Command reconned that out and didn't see anything, so they're going to try a different angle here. We still have Pierce as the marksman. No, it's Rek, excuse me. Pierce, I believe, is BLUFOR GC. He is still trying to fire onto GREENFOR guys in here, And we also have Independent firing at the helicopter. But if BLUFOR can get their foot in the door here, and then the other half of their newfound pincer strategy comes in, we could easily see the tide shift. But it could also go back into Independent's favor if GREENFOR's Scandi Recon attack team here closes the gap, because they're running out of time to maneuver to catch a lot of BLUFOR guys in the open to get free kills. And I don't think they're going to get there in time. They might catch the 113 out of position, but everyone else seems to be moving.
Yeah, in my chat, Reject's saying that if GREENFOR's focused on what seems to be the main push on the west, then they're probably going to get blindsided by this force to the east. And that is...
Yeah, it's fair, Gorski, I feel that.
Between the BLUFOR push being stifled as bad as it was, taking out one of the 113s and a lot of the infantry. Now they're continuing to push along the south. We'll see if GREENFOR, like the 4IB guys, are able to spot them and keep the attention over there. But if nothing's going on, they're going to start doing security. They're going to check every direction. Someone's going to start looking east, and it's just going to be a matter of time. As now the helicopter's flying over, I think those two squads are going to be the limit, and it's now going to do some passes. As Scandi comes up on Hill 164, just a couple hundred meters west of Rek, who's now trying to approach the town.
So we have the 4IB guys in 2 apartment buildings. They're in really good overwatch positions on BLUFOR coming to the town right now. But the fog, as I say that, Map Noir is caught out of position and engaged.
Curse.
Map gets knocked out. The guy behind him gets knocked out. They flanked a little too far right. I was a little worried that Independence pulling out of trying to keep BLUFOR out would be too much. But that far southeastern part of their newfound battle line has caught BLUFOR Bravo out of position and already racked up a few free kills.
Now, to BLUFOR's credit, they were able to snipe the auto rifleman, but now Truin is going to pick up his 249 instead, and I'm sure get that thing singing again.
A little bit of independent blue on blue right now. Echo, who is part of the northernmost group of the battle line, is currently firing on Scandi Recon. It is impossible to PID at this distance. So Nemesis, I think, will try to call in on the LR that they're friendly. But is Pierce... is it Pierce? No, it's Rek. I keep getting them confused. Rek is still up here. He could get shot in the back of the head, and that marksman rifle given to a Scandi Recon member would be a very big, devastating loss.
I have eyes on him from here. Yeah, Arcor has eyes on him. He's about to get taken. Oh, if he had stayed.
Oh, and Rek decides to move. His spider sense tingled.
But Arcor's going to communicate that to the rest of Scandi up here, and they're going to now hunt him down. Although I'm not sure if they know that he's a marksman or not. Either way, they're going to try and kill him. Elsewhere, Koek and Burt, they're working around the perimeter of this red warehouse, trying to get in this factory sector. But yeah, they need to push north from here, and I don't think they have the numbers anymore. That flank took away so many resources, and yeah, there's Platoon 2 HQ, Echo 1, Foxtrot 2, bunch of people, like a dozen or so BLUFOR infantry up here on this mountaintop, and they don't have the time for this. They need to be a lot quicker, and they're spreading themselves out way too thin.
This just shows that this just shows that both sides do not really know where either side is fully pulling back from. GREENFOR thinks that BLUFOR has all of their forces in this push. Decent explosive trap there, but it wasn't in the right building, unfortunately.
No, and Galil's opening up on Moxybren and Dutch Eagle's building. Yeah, he might blue on blue some of his own squad, and if he keeps up this fire.
So Independent, their strategy right now is get a few free kills and then pull back. Get a few free kills and pull back. And so far it's been working, but BLUFOR's second flank here now firing at Platoon and Command HQ. It's going to show them that they have another big issue here. And if that squad on the ridge were to come down, it would be an even bigger issue. But they still have the helicopters, so they could rapidly redeploy if they need to. But Scandi Recon also closing the gap. By the way, that marksman was shot. Rek is bleeding out right now. He could still wake back up. But GREENFOR can close the gap on this southern attack pincer here.
No, Finn and Nafs are now coming over on the rear of the surviving M113.
I told you they would probably catch that out of position, but they don't have AT to deal with it, but they could still possibly snipe the gunner out, but I think he's turned in.
Yeah.
Yep.
They don't have any GLs either. That also might be able to do some damage, but yeah, Falcon and Arcor.
Falcon double tapping Rek with his machine gun, and I think Arcor is going to take that marksman rifle if he notices that it was there. That would be a really good gun to have.
As I
Yep,
say
Arcor's noticed. And he, wow, really?
maybe he didn't recognize it, and maybe it just looks like an M16 to him.
No, you always check. You got one guy alone on a hill. You want that marksman rifle, man, because that can give you so much additional advantage. And he's at an angle with Falcon where if they can get proper sight lines on BLUFOR right now, they are not in any sort of cover. Falcon could easily spray down and do a little bit of damage with that machine gun. It's just the fog is really playing against them.
GLegs is trying to support the GREENFOR command team back here. As they're getting breached, they're just holding the fatal funnel here, which is exactly what I wanted to see them do. They've already taken out one of the BLUFOR guys, and now they're going to be tossing.
Grenade going in, though.
Out. That... Ooh, that was a good one.
If they got another one in there, though, it could take the building out.
Yeah, which could spell death for both Bay and Aim at the Ball.
Aim at the ball is finding an angle to take. Yep. You got to be really careful about this tower build. There's so many ways to get outflanked, though.
Yeah, a lot of windows, lots of angles of attack. Another grenade going in. Balls is cooking it. Tosses it up to the second floor. And there it goes.
Knocked out the truck, too.
Well.
That knocked out Dental on the roof. He could wake back up, though, and Olaf, not sure if he's stuck in there. Oh, no, he peered out, took out another guy, so they're at least making BLUFOR work for it. But AIM now has a lot of room to climb around. Might catch Olaf out of position.
And he's going to hop in with the enhanced movement. If
he might not be able to, though, because rework doesn't always let you do that.
Oh, really?
Yep.
I hate that. That sucks.
So yeah, Olaf is just going to camp down there because that's the safest spot he can be in.
Yeah, under the stairs, like Harry Potter, just the cupboard under the stairs.
But will Dental come downstairs and see AIM? He's probably going to bandage first. Meanwhile, Scandi Recon getting to the edge of the town, and they're going to start trying to close this BLUFOR gap. A flank would be devastating to BLUFOR if they are not checking their angles here.
Mm-hmm.
Aim at the ball is trying to wait Olaf out, or at least try to get in, but he's unable to. Can't even V-key in. That sucks.
And yeah, G-Leg's on top of this ridge. He's been trying to help this command team, but I don't think at that distance he's going to be super, super effective.
We're going to see 15 minutes called in 6 minutes, by the way, so BLUFOR is going to have to step up the attack here. They're going to have to risk sending some of the guys. We've got some coming down from the ridge line here, but they need to flank the independent forces still on garrison. They don't have the time.
Liru.
What?
Where is Golf for BLUFOR?
They're just vibing on top of us, mountaintop, man.
No,
Recon.
BLUFOR. Not GREENFOR, BLUFOR. All for BLUFOR.
What, you mean the other 113?
Yep.
Where is it?
I don't know, but the crew's dead. Naps and Flying Fin apparently took him out.
Oh, nice.
So that's all the M113s out of commission for this, as Scandi Recon is now assaulting the factory sector from behind. Yanni's battle buddy gets taken out. He needs to actually roll out of there because he's getting suppressed.
So the crew left the 113. I can't find their bodies though, but they are to the southwest of Flying Fin and Navs, a little under 100 meters next to a tree. I have no idea what happened.
I don't know what happened to the 113 either.
Scandi Recon starting to do their flank, by the way, getting a few free kills off of that.
Couple of them. Oh, Nemesis opening up.
Nice.
He got Lucas's battle buddy, staying him back in this compound. Yeah, now that they're being sandwiched like this, if they were to push in or be a little bit more aggressive with their suppressing fire, then they could completely eliminate this western front.
I mean, independent, they're starting to encircle that flank. I could see them taking it. By the way, Aim at the Ball is breached on Olaf and managed to get the kill. Now it's just Dental Doe up there, but BLUFOR need to send more guys in because we're about to see that 15-minute warning called. Another 4 minutes. Ooh,
and
Lucas
this is
might.
when it like really matters. Just having the ability to work between battle.
No, he didn't throw it too hard.
Sorry,
Lucas might get blown up.
Phone call interrupt my webcam.
Lucas just got blown away by a grenade after he knocked out Infidel. He did a really good job smoking his building to conceal himself. Arcor's now running into breach. He'll find him dead. Lucas did have the Carl Gustav too, so I'm not sure if he's going to take it because he didn't take that marksman rifle earlier. But GREENFOR doing a really good job closing the gap on BLUFOR's western side of the southern attack. And now BLUFOR, I think, actually has lost the numbers advantage. So if all of GREENFOR starts breaching, things will be okay. But GREENFOR actually just dropped the DshK from the rooftop down to the ground floor to reposition it. That works. You still have Deneldo in the Overwatch tower, and he's killed a guy, knocked a dude out. He's holding his own here, stalling BLUFOR's entire push, and they're trying to throw more grenades up there to breach him. But I don't think this building can be damaged anymore. GREENFOR marksmen also, I have no idea where they went.
I think the HC can be collapsed one more time, but I'm not
Possibly.
sure.
But yeah, BLUFOR shouldn't waste any more time here. They just need to put a guy on the cache, or excuse me, the terminal, and keep moving. Did they just try to AT the tower? Yes, they did. Oh my gosh.
Yep, because I think Deneldo is still just like making his presence known, just being a little bit of a thorn.
Yep.
And
I mean, it's that thorn that's stopping that entire attack wave right now, though. That's exactly what he needs to do. Nemesis on 2 kills now, leading the charge for Scandi Recon to continue this flank attack, and they have knocked out at least 50% of this assault force. It's up to TSB now and Pierce to continue this flank going, because the rest of BLUFOR is nowhere to be found. Nafs and Finn, meanwhile, are to the south trying to find any more BLUFOR forces. Sorry, I cut off because I thought Pierce was going to get a kill there, but I think Edwin jumped because I don't see a body. It was that or Falcon, perhaps. Falcon, he's crouch walking to try to avoid headshots. They got some of the 4IB guys engaging into TSB. Arcor trying to medic up Infidel. And wow, the chopper just got... That was an awesome shot. I'm glad I looked up right there.
Yeah, I was swallowing it. I need to find who shot that.
Hollywood.
God.
That was Tackleberry.
Yep, he's got that aircraft kill, and he was
great shot.
He's got that 18 mark. So good for him. He still has his M72. Oh, there he drops it. Well done, especially on. I mean, it flew really close to the sun, so to speak. G-Legs apparently has been taken out as well by the roaming BLUFOR force. So a few trades from each side, but yeah.
Falcon just got a pick-off kill.
Yeah, any second, a 15-minute timer is going to start. And
Another 20 seconds.
Taking down Deneldo. Victor Resnod is holding this back line for Terminal 2, which is in this church to the west of the church. Or actually, no, that's like a town hall, the statue.
And Finn and Nafs are coming in.
This church houses the second terminal. And BLUFOR, I mean, I don't think BLUFOR, they have the numbers. Even if this Eastern group pushes in, they'd have to do some real work to get into Terminal 1. And that's what this all hinges upon. Is
numbers are a bit even right now as I look right and left, but GREENFOR is much better positioned, and BLUFOR is just about 3 small groups at this point. And they're perfectly sized, so Independent can just encircle and sweep. And now you have that stolen Carl Gustav taken by Arcor from Lucas, and he is firing into buildings trying to find where...
Arcor and Nemesis now, they're actually making a play. They're going to be coming around the back of TSB's hiding.
That's what I was just talking about.
A little row of townhouses. We'll see. They might clear building by building. I'm sure they're listening to, they're hearing the voices.
Yep. Door just opened. Yeno just jumped out. Almost caught Nemesis out of position. Immediately engaged by Falcon, though.
Nice.
That was quick.
Off, with a few scratches, but now their position should be known. Yeah. Yano's coming up here. Sees his buddy's 249 sticking right out of the ground. Ooh, and gets lit up as he pokes his head out by Falcon. Because Falcon has that 240B. He's got that 7.62 NATO machine gun. A lot heftier than
and a lot of good kills with it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you fire enough bullets at someone, they're going to die eventually, I guess. That's his theory. And Yano now going to come up and execute Nemesis.
Falcon did pick off Pierce, though, with that machine gun. So they're still trading pretty evenly. Arcor now trying to get Yano, throws a grenade in there. Yano comes out.
He dumped a bunch of rounds into Nemesis' body. Still.
Yep, Arcor running up. Oh, Yano had him though. Just gotta get. He needs to get that double tap on both of them.
Yeah, because their bodies, them being alive makes their bodies
still have physics.
Yeah, exactly.
Edwin ran out, he got picked off, and these remaining BLUFOR guys are actually collapsing a lot of the attack force here. They are still well in the game.
Victor Reznov from the bell tower with that 249, or 240 actually. Eat your heart out, Lee Harvey Oswald. He's going to be doing some work with this if he waits long enough and finds a good group of BLUFOR.
Trying to catch people out of position there. He might see Wuna. No, he turns around as soon as Wuna starts going in the open. Ah, the luck.
Isn't that poetic?
All right, now it's
on the western side.
Just up to Falcon with a machine gun here. He is overwatching BLUFOR's building with the remaining TSB guys. We're seeing some 4IBs getting picked off by Martin and Drake. Pierce also, was that Pierce? It might have been Pierce, might have been a different guy, but one independent guy just got hit. I thought I saw Pierce guy die earlier, so.
Liru, I need to bring your attention to something.
Yep.
Look at the Falcon's weapon. Specifically, look at the optic that he has.
Did he take the MOS? That's why I didn't see it on the gun earlier. Yeah, he took the MOS for the machine. I mean, why have a 20-round marksman rifle when you can have an 100-round marksman rifle with a bipod, right? I mean, duh, math. Quick maths.
Oh, Lord.
Like a hawk, right? All right, so Independent, they have come. They're trying to form a defensive line on this hospital here to stop this BLUFOR attack wave, but BLUFOR's been getting a lot of good kills here. As I say that, Jay Sterling catching Martin out of position, and Kemp catching another BLUFOR guy that went to his building. And I think at this point, Independent have more forces than BLUFOR, but BLUFOR has managed to sneak a few dudes in Terminal 1. They're going to catch 2 dudes out of position because they're not looking at the doorway. Except they traded evenly because the guy that looked at him was being way too slow with that.
And now everyone else is looking that way. Twicking someone around the exterior, but everyone on that radio building, I think,
starting to funnel out.
Yep. Yeah, because they're being attracted by the gunfire. Andreas, man, needs to be careful. He needs to stay in one position, just hold an angle right now.
Shadow getting kind of out of position by Flood, and they're just running for it instead. What a wasted opportunity there.
They were a bit more aggressive in pushing in. Even if they traded again, just that 1-for-1, start hacking that terminal and watch the doors. Actually, a bit of friendly fire between Andreas Man and SDS.
Catch, no, he pulls out.
Twicking is looking on again with a marksman scope. Where the hell did he get that? Oh, he probably picked that off of G-Legs along with that truck. But yeah, he holds his trigger finger, and he's gonna escape, trying to get back out of there.
Hey, is it just me, or is your time remaining blocked out on the bottom right of your screen?
It says approximate mission time remaining now, but I still see it. It's about 10 minutes.
Oh, it's like just out. Oh, there we go. It's when it gets to less digits, it'll come up. That's funny.
Yeah. But yeah, with charge goes off, and the fog's a lot thicker now.
Yeah. Twig King try to push in. He might have died to that explosive trap. Let me try to find his body. You keep looking.
Oh yeah, Flood. If the trap didn't get him, Flood just decked him.
Oh yeah, no, he was on the corner and got oofed. Someone just bled out. That was Martin.
I mean, no, I think that's gonna be it, because everyone else is either out of position or they don't have the numbers to deal with this garrison at this first terminal. And yeah, I understand what BLUFOR was doing with that far eastern flank, but one squad was enough. To put 2 squads over there just takes away strength from the main force.
Yeah, I got a lot foggier, jeez.
Got outmaneuvered, outpositioned, outgunned, outmanned.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, it was fine. It's just they held that. They didn't keep pushing. If they joined and alleviated the southern pincer, they would have been fine, but instead they waited, so that forced the Southern Pincer to slow down and then get picked off by Scandi Recon. And you still have Falcon on the rear. He's on 4 kills now. And he's just picking off who remains. But at this point, because BLUFOR divided themselves easily for Independent to then just swarm around and take out, BLUFOR doesn't really have anything left. With 8 minutes remaining, it's...
Really don't.
Yeah, I don't see it. Especially since, I mean, just look at the defense force around the first terminal.
More charges going off by Potato. Doesn't take out his building, though.
It wasn't Potato. It was Falcon, I think, found some AT. Yeah, he found Carl Gustav. No, it's the RPG-32 from Yanni.
Over here, I think.
Yep, and he shot it into Potato's building.
Nearly got him, too, I think, but...
Yeah, no, there's some bloody bandages. He patched himself up. But it's up to Potato now for TSB to get there, but just with the sheer amount of guys, we got another group of 4 around. We got an Independent guy right next to them, probably listening to their comms. We also got Clown here, who might try to find an angle to engage them. If he looks left, he's going to see him.
Oh, Falcon just got Potato with the RPG.
Nice.
No. Potato, he left. I looked away. I was looking at chat, and he went. So when I saw the rocket in his building, and I didn't see his marker, I thought he died.
Meanwhile, Clown trying to pick off a few dudes he caught in the open from the hotel building. Oh, no, we got it out the window. I thought that window usually is more invincible. But we also have King poking out. He manages to get another kill. And that group of 4 is now down to 2.
Real quick on this northwestern side now, we have Potato and Yano trying to work together somewhat, but the rest of the GREENFOR garrison, they started pushing in. They want a piece of the action, too.
Yano's going to pull out and see a bunch of Independent guys, and he gets picked off by Rory because he exposed too much of himself to engage a different guy.
He pulled out the doorway, should have shot from the window. Unfortunate. And Potato should hear those gunshots. Let's see if he goes to the roof of the hospital now.
King drops the 3rd guy in that group. Misu hasn't turned around yet to notice.
Lolo gets taken out by Finn and Nafs. So that's going to be this southern approach all but taken out. Just Potato remaining. And yeah, it is a handful of BLUFOR against a good dozen or so GREENFOR.
I don't see BLUFOR bouncing back. They're way too scattered right now. I will always pray for an Audrey Hotto level incident, but I know we're never going to see it again. King now firing at Clown. No, he's firing at a dead body that Clown dropped. But those gunshots are going to track King.
Yep, and as well as Victor, who takes him down. But we'll see if he actually starts opening fire on King as well. No, but
so Apuva actually just shot Misu and then started firing at King. So there's a blue-on-blue incident there.
No, Misu was already taken down by Victor.
Where's Victor?
And that's on the town hall with the town center.
Oh, that's where the fire. Okay, yeah, because I knew it was a machine gun. They both have 240 Bravos. That's what threw me off.
Ah, I see. Yeah.
Potato was trying to go up the hotel steps. He was taken out though.
Yeah, probably by that roaming GREENFOR patrol now.
Yep.
And it's up to Apuva, Spudro, and Ghoster is now holding this rear terminal. But this is what I was talking about. The fact that he's got to stay here for this flank to mean anything means that he's not even going to be in the fight at all. So this might just run out of time at this point.
So I'm going to be honest, more often than not, when I see BLUFOR do a pincer strategy where they try to go to Terminal 3 and camp guys there first, I don't think I've ever seen that succeed properly. Yes, it's a smart idea for catching Independent out of position, because it just lets you back-to-back take the terminals and it gives you the most time to assault the objective, but the amount of forces that get sent to make sure that the 3rd terminal is secured so they can push in is always too great, which means that the attacking force is too thin, and then the defending force just, has the advantage of either bigger numbers or even numbers, but since they're playing defensive, it's easier for them.
Yeah, the 2 factors that really led to this strategy for BLUFOR failing was A, that it was sequential. If all 3 terminals were active, they'd be able to take terminals 3 and 2.
Spudro knocking out Kane.
And at least put the pressure on GREENFOR.
What?
But they just all stayed. They had a major garrison.
Did you see that chat?
Stay there. No reason for them to leave because they has to come to them. Secondly,
fuck was that?
Because there were so many people front. It was a very front-heavy defense around this western
That wasn't
side.
desync, that was
the
magic.
western and northern side, near
was
or
good
around
magic,
Terminal
too.
1. That meant that BLUFOR, well, that GREENFOR wasn't spread out nearly as much as BLUFOR was.
It was Arma,
and
that's a
the
good way to
BLUFOR
put it.
flank from the east couldn't, like, they couldn't take a lot of people out as they made their way
Get 'em,
west,
Nafs.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it split up BLUFOR's forces more than it split up GREENFOR's, and they divided and conquered themselves. That's what I'll say.
Naps executing Lolo. Kane got shot by Spudro in a pretty hilarious one-on-one. Spudro now trying to put some GLs on Clown to make him route from that position, but the GLs are not accurate. They're falling short. And it is now a 3 versus... I mean, at this point, they can't get to all 3 terminals, go through the minute and a half, and do it. So BLUFOR's lost at this point.
Yeah, just based on time, which is unfortunate, but kind of telegraphed, you know?
Yeah. Sideways now trying to pick off Spudro, but unable to land a shot. Actually, no, he did. Spudro's hit. He's going to quickly bandage.
Ghost is just on like a little stroll. He's got his gun down, just walking, as Naf pulls out from the building in front of him, but Ghost doesn't notice because he isn't focused. Slow walks, but
Gets headshotted by Flying Finn.
Oh, good awareness from Finn. Great reaction.
Ay, ay, ay. Infidel, thanks for the 25-month resub, my man. Don't talk to me about the buddy system. I saw you get oofed back there, man, but Scandy did pretty well this one, man. Hope you keep enjoying the ops. Thanks for the 25-month resub again. Hope you're enjoying FNF, and I hope you enjoy the VOD when I release it tomorrow.
That was funny.
Clown is now pushed up against the 2 remaining BLUFOR guys. We have 2 minutes remaining. What is Clown going to do? Clown might see Spudro's hands in the doorway. Oh, nope. He moved. Clown heard those footsteps.
Yeah,
He just heard Spudro. Spudro turned around and heard him.
Ooh, Clown panics. And Sideways suppressing Clown.
Saves him.
Suppressing Spudro.
Cole also down firing. Apuva knocking Cole out. Rounds go in on Spudro, though, by Falcon. Falcon showed up. What the hell?
Yeah.
240, man.
5 kills with it so far, and Spudro will be his 6th. Clown hops the wall, gonna execute Spudro. I'd want to give the kill to him. Or to Falcon, not Clown.
Spudro's about to wake up, but still got knocked out. He's lost too much blood pressure, or he's in too much pain. And now it's up to Apuva, who honestly is a really good player, but he's being shot at by Victor, and he is boxed in.
Oh, that's deadly.
Spudro's down.
Position up there. How do you even get up there? Is there a ladder on there?
There's a ladder on the opposite corner of that building. No, the pole on the opposite side. You can climb that. I like a ladder. It's interesting, but it works.
That's the only time I think I've ever heard that in any Arma like thing. Oh, that's amazing. Yeah, I think I see the pole, the one where he's the corner that he's at now.
Yep. And Falcon's trying to be aggressive. He wants that last kill. He's on 5. He wants to make it 6.
Liru, real quick.
Yep.
Iander's in my chat. He says, we've discussed it in Scandy Recon, and if Falcon doesn't clutch this, we will demote him to Grouse.
Yeah, he told me that earlier. I completely forgot to tell you. My apologies, man.
That's a good line.
And there's time.
Defended. As Puma's still alive, but yeah, I guess either time
I
or
mean,
call.
yes, he's gonna kill like 25 people over the course of 10 minutes.
It's 2 minutes.
Explosive trap going off.
It's celebratory at this point. Apuma does get
And Apupa kill Clown.
Falcon.
Falcon's going for that 6th kill. It's machine gun versus machine gun. Oh, but they're invincible because we're changing the map.
No.
Falcon, no!
Flagging out.
No!
What's in the face? Oh god. Oh Jesus.
Falcon gets demoted now. Oh well.
Aren't meant to twist that way.
His leg is doing the.
Block.
There you go. Now you're learning.
Fuck you.
Love how your mic just gargled on that too. That was brilliant. Ah man, Falcon getting demoted to Grouse. Yep.
Let's hop down and get the brief for the next mission as I gotta try and fix my fucking cloud bot.